Welcome to the Contractor Secrets Podcast. I got Shad here, buddy of mine that's also in the Forward Media Marketing Coaching Group with A Grade Painting. What's up, my friend? How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just ready to dive into this and,
Let's figure
you
out.
know,
Let's figure out what's. Are you ready? Because it's gonna. I mean, we might uncover some things. It's gonna force some change.
that will be a good thing. So,
Good man. Well, thanks for being a good sport about it. So tell me what's going on in the business, bro.
um, I kind of just need to create a clear direction, um, like of how to take things. Um, right now I have one panel and I just hired his son on, kind of has a helper for him. Um, but he wants to transition. He's gonna start doing door knocking to transition more to that route. So which means I need to find someone to kind of replace him, but that's a longer term goal thing, not immediate. Um, and I kind of need to hire people because my schedule's starting to get booked up, but it's not super booked up yet, so I'm a little worried about hiring and then having to let go because I don't have enough work. Um, and just kind of problems like that. Uh, Also, I still operate everything out. I have a Toyota Prius, and that's how I get all the tools to the job site. So I need to find out something now. But it's kind of hard to buy like a vehicle because money is like really tight right now.
Okay.
So,
What else?
um,
I mean, do you feel like you're winning?
it has moments that I feel like I'm winning. I have a couple, like it goes for a day or a couple days where I feel like I'm winning, and then a couple days where it's just kind of defeated and I'm
What is
not
your
winning.
personal? Give me some adjectives that you believe about yourself as a leader.
Um,
As a leader. As a leader.
Man, I think I need to get better at leading for sure. That's one of the things I think I need to work on.
Do you know how you
Is
get better at leading? Is you start by leading yourself and disciplining yourself, right? Like disciplining your spending habits, and you start to build up some confidence, right? What is your daily routine like?
um well, we start jobs at 7. So I will go to the job site at 7, meet my panel there. Uh some depending on what we're doing, I will be walking with him for a while and then leave to go to estimates as needed. If it's a job that he can just handle and I have like other things to do, I'll kind of meet him, get him set up. Um, and then I'll do some office work, trying to focus on figuring out all the different stuff in my business. Uh, Maybe do some studying of like sales to get better at things like that. Uh, go to the estimates if I have them on my calendar that day. Uh, Reach out to old estimates, try to close some of those deals. Then sometimes go back to the job site just to see how it's been going. Uh, thing, kind of things like that.
Okay. Everything you're telling me and the way you're telling it to me is showing me that you lack energy. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Like, there's no excitement there. There's no enthusiasm about this at all. And I think it's because you're kind of like in the middle of like struggle and just trying to make ends meet. And there's just no excitement. There's no passion for the sales. You're like, well, I try to do this and I go here. And it's like your vocabulary has a lot to do with your trajectory, Shad, and the way that you approach things, right? And if you're just the way you're describing it to me, and I get it, you're just talking, but from the hiring side of things and the sales side of things, the core of hiring and selling is to get people to believe in you, especially early on, right? Like getting customers to believe in you. How do you do that?
Um, Typically I'll go into an estimate. Um, I'll talk to them about what they're looking to get done. I'll figure out why they're looking to get it done. And
We're gonna go through a role play, okay?
okay,
I'm gonna call your business. We're gonna have a conversation. Just pretend I'm a customer. You ready?
yeah.
Ring, ring.
Hello, this is Shad with A grade painting.
Hi, Shad. Yeah, I'm looking to get an estimate on painting the interior of my house.
Okay, yeah, we can definitely get you on the schedule for an interior. Um, we have some availability coming up tomorrow at 5 p.m. or we can do Monday at 12.
Okay. So there's you got to understand that like that isn't going to get people to get excited about you. That's just putting someone through a conveyor belt, right? That's an
Yeah,
inbound lead. You do that approach on outbound calls when you have people who don't know who you are and you're pursuing them, right? It's like, hey, this is Shad Mall with A Grade Painting. We got your request from Facebook. I was wondering if Tuesday at 1 o'clock or Wednesday at 3 o'clock works best for your free estimate, right? But
yeah.
not an inbound lead. An inbound lead found you somehow and wants to do business with you, but you need to start selling on that phone call so when you get there they're excited. So call me and do the same exact thing. Just ask for an interior painting estimate.
Uh, ring ring.
Thank you for calling Premium Painting. This is Tanner. How may I help you?
Hey, yeah. I was wondering if I can get an interior painting estimate.
Oh my goodness, absolutely. Oh, this is great news. How'd you hear about us?
A friend of mine mentioned you guys
Oh,
to me.
awesome. Great. So are you just moving in or just wanting to freshen things up?
Just kind of looking to freshen things up.
Gotcha, gotcha. Have you chosen colors yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay, cool. So one great thing about us is don't stress about colors. We do offer a free color consultation, and what we'll do is we'll send our decorator over, and she can help you, pick out colors and kind of go over some options. So, no worries there. A lot of my customers get a little worked up about colors. So if you haven't quite chosen yet, we've got you covered. So this is super exciting. I'm sure you heard a little bit about our quality and who we are. I'd love to get you on the schedule. You'll be meeting with Chris. He's our estimator, and the goal of the estimate is to really just kind of make sure we get the scope correct. So, what would be the best day for the estimate?
Do you have any availability tomorrow?
I do. Do you prefer mornings or afternoons?
Afternoon.
Afternoons, got it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab all your information and you're going to get a follow up email. It's going to have some good information in there about kind of who we are and what to expect. And then, of course, you'll get some reminders before we actually show up. Chris's estimate, generally speaking, would be between 30 and 45 minutes. We'll have a little brochure for you. We'll go over, what it is that we offer, and then you'll receive the estimate in your email shortly after. Does all that sound okay?
Yeah, sounds great.
Fantastic. We'll see. We'll see you then. Okay. So, do you see the difference?
Yeah.
And there's an excitement there. And if you can't be the one to be excited, then you hire somebody to be excited for you, Shad. And that
All
might
right.
be an office admin, that might be somebody to help you facilitate communication.
Um, I have my fiance that she typically does like the appointment setting calls. Um,
Okay.
which I'm still working on training her how to do it, and
Okay.
so
Well,
I'm
what are you
also way
using
out
for
of touch
taking
because
phone
I
calls?
haven't
What app do you use?
open phone.
Okay, so that's pretty easy. You're good there. So the thing is, dude, it's like you have a lot of problems right now. And some of the problems can be easily solved. Communications in your business gives people the perception and gets them excited before they even meet you, right? And that does some of the heavy lifting. So I want you to think about the customer that spoke to me. They're thinking, wow, that was a good conversation. They seem more interested in my project than I am. And that's who you want to hire. That's somebody that is going to go the extra mile. That's somebody that's going to, identify or that's somebody that's going to win me over as a customer, somebody that shows that they're excited, right? So I want you to focus on that because that's free. That's a change that you can make. Everything that you do, be excited about. Every handshake you have, you shake the customer's hand and you smile and say, I'm so excited to be here today. I'm so excited to talk about your project. because that's free, dude. That's just you. And all the stress that you have about your business, all the anxiety, you got to shut that off. And I can come at you like this because I know that you've dealt with some things, especially that one customer you messaged me about, right? This stuff beats you
Yeah.
down, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but you can't show that right now. You have to put on a facade with your customers. You can't go through the motions. When you're making phone calls to customers, getting them to move forward, it needs to be deliberate. It needs to be excited, and you have to have a reason for calling that makes them want to move forward. So let's go through that. Let's talk about your follow ups when you're calling a customer you've given a proposal to. So call me,
Like just like
call me,
role
ring
play.
ring. Let's go.
Ring ring.
Hello, this is Tanner. How can I help you?
Hey, this is this is Shad. Wait. Okay,
Take your time.
sorry, confused. Um, so you want
Customer
me
has,
to?
I'll give you a scenario.
Yeah.
You quoted my interior, ceiling walls, trim doors. It's a $10,000 job. You gave me the quote 3 days ago. You haven't heard from me since. Okay.
Okay. Um, ring
Okay.
ring.
Hello, this is Tanner.
Hey, this is Shad with A Grade Painting. I was calling about the proposal that we sent over to you a couple days ago. Um, I have some availability in my schedule and was wanting to know if you're interested in
Okay.
getting in on it, or if you had any questions or concerns about the project.
Got it. So at this point, you're just making me work for you, right? So the only thing you care about is filling your schedule, right? Like it's like, oh, hey, I've availability in my schedule. I need you to hurry up and make your decision.
Yeah, yeah, that
You
would.
see how that could come across to a
Hmm.
customer, right?
Yeah,
So what I want you to do is I want you to think of the concept of value. That's a very important concept for you to be a student of as a business owner. Is value, and the value that you provide is what makes all the difference. So the value to your employees is what? On-time pay, great culture, empathetic business owner, servant leader, right? Would you identify with some of those things?
yeah,
Yes or no?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
you got to be you have to be deliberate, okay, about who you are, what you represent, Shad. Very important. You have to embody it, dude, or people aren't going to want to work for you because you're not sure. If you're not sure, if you have a leader that's unsure, then guess what? People feel unsafe and insecure about their position and where the company's going. What's the goal here, Shad? Like, what do you want to do, man? Do you just want a job? Like, what's your end goal, man? Like, what do you see in 5 years? Like, what are you aspiring toward?
I want to build a business that I'm able to step away from, be able to
Okay,
provide for my family.
okay,
Uh, you know, also be able to give people in the area a quality contractor and provide
got it,
quality jobs for people.
got it. Okay, so you got to get serious. You got to get serious about everything, about every aspect of what we just covered. We just covered two role playing scenarios that, on a scale of 1 to 10, you're about a 1. And these are scenarios that move the needle. You need sales in order to grow and build that dream. If the sales don't come in, then you don't get to build that dream. And the only thing stopping you is some skills, right? You have one crew. What are you door knocking for?
Um, Mostly just because he wants to do it. Like he
Okay.
came to
Does
me
he
to
run the
want to.
business or do you run the business?
I mean, I run it.
Right.
It's more so just a thing he's gonna do on his own time
But,
after work, though.
okay, but now you lost a painter.
Well, he's still painting. It's just after work he's gonna do that
Right. And we
a
talked about
couple
this,
times
I
a
think.
week. Yeah.
You need to set the tone. How many jobs do you have on the schedule right now?
Um, 5 on the schedule.
Okay, 5 on the schedule and you have one painter.
Yeah.
And you told me earlier that you're scared to hire because you don't know if you have enough work.
Well, 4 of those jobs on the schedule are just like 2-day projects,
Okay, but it's
so
still
kind of
work, isn't it?
small. Yeah,
Okay. So you have to identify like when you're going to take the risk because you're never going to feel comfortable. There's never going to be a time where it's like, okay, I'm ready to hire. There's never going to be a time. You got to take some risk.
yeah. I think my biggest thing holding me back from hiring is the beginning of the year. Like in February, I had tons of work on my calendar, so I hired 2 people, and then I just ran out, and I was trying to find more work, and it just got to a point where I couldn't keep 2 people, so I had to
Okay.
let one go, and I just don't want that happening again. That's my kind of biggest concern. I do
Okay.
have a lot of estimates on my calendar now, so like I should be able to get busy again. Uh, to hire, but that's kind of, I feel like, the main thing holding me back is
Okay.
that.
All right. So there's a lot of things we want to cover. I want to go back to that follow up, and I want you to understand the concept of value. People only hire when they feel like what they are getting is worth less, or sorry, is worth more than the money that they're giving, right? When people don't hire you, there's a few reasons why. Maybe they don't trust you, maybe they don't like you. But if they trust you and like you, the only alternative is you didn't offer enough value in exchange for the money, or the perceived value wasn't fully there. In other words, your offer wasn't strong. The way you present your offer matters. The way you convey your offer matters. And your offer varies between every single customer you have. Why? Because we know that some people value different experiences, right?
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Like, would you say that some customers want it done fast? Some customers don't care how fast you do it?
Yes.
Right. So wouldn't it be wise to figure out which customer you're talking to and then position your offer in a way that tailors to the needs of or the wants of that customer?
Yeah.
So, for example, when you're doing that follow-up call, you should already know what type of customer he is. And how do you know that? By asking questions in your sales process and then utilizing the answers to those questions to reinforce the value. So, for example, ring ring, you're the customer.
Hello.
Hey
This is
Shad.
Shad.
Hey Shad, it's Tanner. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
You notice what I did there? You said, "Hey,
Yeah.
this is Shad with A grade painting." You're a stranger, but you were in their house 3 days ago. How would he not know your name? Okay. When you call a friend, do you say, "Hi, this is Tanner," or "This is Shad with A grade painting"? No, you say, "Hey, it's Shad," right?
Yeah.
And then he'll say, if he says Shad who, then you're doing a poor job, right? You didn't build enough rapport. You didn't make it a memorable experience. How would you not know who I am? We sat down and we talked about your family. We talked about my family. We talked about your project. I spent an hour with you. How do you not know who I am? Hey, it's Tanner. How are you? Oh, I'm good. All right. And then we're going to go dialogue and say, hey, listen, I looked at the quote, just curious. Have any questions come up? I haven't spoke to you in a couple of days. Just want to make sure I got the scope correct, right? Why? Because we want to isolate the scope of work. Okay. We want to make sure the
Yeah.
scope is correct. We want to make sure we got everything correct on that quote. Why? Because we don't want to give something and then they say, oh, well, I didn't want the ceilings done anyway. Right? And then the customer will obviously tell you yes or no. And then that's where you go in and say, hey, listen, I normally don't do this, but I want to give you some value. I have an opening coming at the end of the month. We're going to need 5 days on this project. It would fit right in. I know you said you wanted it right before you moved in. I know I can fit you in there and we can get it done so you can schedule the movers immediately after. So if I can make that happen and guarantee you the 25th, would you allow me to earn your business? I didn't give away any money there, but I remembered that that was something that was important to them. right? And in some cases, you have to give away a little money or you have to add something of value, Shad. This is stuff that you should be taking notes on in the sale. It's like, hey, I noticed the roof could really use a roof cleaning. How about this? I have my pressure washing guy do a soft wash on your roof, no charge. You've got to sell at this stage of your business. You can't just wait for business to come to you because that's holding you back from growing. You're not getting enough reps. You need leads, right? Are you getting leads from Lucas?
They're starting to pick up this month.
Okay.
So this month has been pretty good with
And you're
leads.
using drip jobs?
Yes.
Okay. How many cold leads are in your cold leads section of the pipeline?
Um, 104.
There's 104 leads in the cold lead section of your pipeline?
Yeah.
Okay. Be honest with me, Shad. How many phone calls to those leads are you making a day? Be honest. Doesn't help me if you lie. Doesn't help you.
Um, I don't call those leads much. I have my fiance calling those leads to try to schedule appointments, and she calls twice a day for any leads that's about 14 days old. Last time I called any of those leads that were older than that, like older than that 14 days, was probably like 2 months ago.
Is she
I
putting
think I
in
said,
notes for each lead?
um, she has notes like if she's able to get a hold of them and stuff and figure out more info and then to move them to a different stage, yeah, she has notes that
All
she
right.
puts on and
So
stuff
you have
like that.
104 leads in there. If they're still in the cold lead section, that means she hasn't been able to get in touch with them.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to venture out and say that like that's not a consistent thing. I'm going to venture out and say that maybe she's not trained on how to do it, right? Maybe she could use a little training. But at the end of the day, you have 104 people that have requested a service from you, that have interacted with you at some point or another. I'd be calling every day until that lead answered the phone or told me to stop calling. That's your money just sitting there. And there's no way, I guarantee you, I could bet my life that if I got into your pipeline and started calling, I could book 3 or 4 appointments today. How many appointments are on your schedule this week?
I have 2 today and 3 tomorrow.
Okay. So what's your closing ratio?
Right now, my closing ratio is like for the year, it's at 40%. For the month,
What's
it's
your
like
average
60.
what's your average job size?
Mm, I think it's around 3 to 4,000.
Okay. Are you doing any painting?
I've been doing a lot of painting. I've gotten several more estimates coming in the last couple of weeks, so I'm trying to kind of step away from it and
Okay.
just like make sure the quality's there and then help out as needed.
Good.
I'm trying to step
Cool.
away and focus on other things.
Here's what we need to do. I'll be honest with you. This is an area that you really need to focus on because keeping one painter busy is almost like automatic. I mean, all you really need is like one job a week. There's always something to paint. But to scale, we need to find a way to reproduce results consistently. So the first element of what I'm going to give you is a strategy. The first element is you need to role play with your fiance. Okay? I think that's the best way to do it. How you interact with people and get them excited to do business. You need to audit what the conversation looks like for cold leads. Because the difference between a conversion ratio of a cold lead versus 104 just sitting there is sometimes just persuasion and consistency. So kind of outline what that looks like. How many calls do we make a day? When we get them on the phone, what is our value offer and how do we sell? Get them to an estimate, right? From there, any estimates do you have in proposal sent? You should be looking at how you can manipulate pricing, how you can offer value to those individuals and get on the phone and start working deals. Because if you had a month of work lined up, how easy would hiring be?
Pretty easy.
It'd be very easy. How did you find that painter that you have on your team?
I found him from Indeed, so I used your free hiring course back in
Good.
January, and now I'm going through. I now have gone through the other your new hiring course,
Do you like
and
it?
set all that up. Yeah, it's pretty good. I have several applicants because I have the ad up, and I have a couple that I'm interested in contacting. I just have not done it yet.
Well, here's the deal. Remember, there's a momentum that has to occur. You can't wait too long. If you have a good applicant, you got to just pull the trigger in life, man. You just got to do it. You just got to get them on the phone because you got to understand that your job as a business owner is to connect supply and demand. If you don't have the supply, the demand won't be able, you won't be able to fulfill the demand. And you need supply. You need to be able to put a team together and produce consistent work because that's where the cash flow is coming from. Right now, you have one painter, maybe two, and they're only producing $4,000 to $5,000 a week, right? If we're lucky.
Yeah, yeah,
And that $4,000 to $5,000 has to be spread amongst their pay, the paint, your overhead, your leads, right?
yeah,
There's no money left. So you need to hyper grow to get to that second crew, or you need to build that one crew up to four so they could do double the amount of work in the same amount of time. So if you put together a team of four, they should be able to produce anywhere between 7 and 9,000 a week because there's more people, right?
yeah,
So maybe that's the goal, is to try to get to four for one crew and see how that goes. Another thing is you're running everything out of a Prius. It would be beneficial to find somebody that you bring in that has a truck and just buy a trailer.
yeah. My one painter does have a vehicle that he could. It's not really good for transporting lots of tools, but he could haul a trailer, and he's off-road. I just need to get money to buy the trailer.
Shad, do you have any questions, man? I did a lot of talking. I know we went all over the place. I really want to help you, man. I just know there's so many areas we can zero in on, but I want to make sure that you come away with what your goal was. So what questions do you have, brother?
Um, I think you helped me out on several things that I've kind of been thinking about, but not putting enough effort into. Um, especially with the appointment setting and the getting better at follow-ups. Um, questions that I have specifically. I guess one kind of thing, I guess, to help figure out is, so I also only do interiors. I don't do exteriors because I have no clue how to bid them. I've gotten in contact with a couple people that are going to send me some information to help. Um, but I don't do exteriors, not because I can't, because I have no clue like how to bid them. I had to figure out how to bid interiors when I started my business, and I have not. I didn't really like exteriors when I started my business in the first place, so I just stuck with interiors. Um, and now I'm at a point where I'm losing a lot of money not doing exteriors, but I need help figuring out how to bid those, like any kind of resources on that, so that I can start doing
Chad,
them.
we have got to increase your risk tolerance, dude. Just freaking bid it and then lose money and then don't bid it that way again. You got to be willing to lose it, dude. You got to be willing. You're just going to throw out a number. It's not that difficult, bro. You and I both know, okay? 1,600 square foot house. Stucco. You ever paint stucco before? Do you guys have stucco
Mm,
where you're at? Where do you live?
Oklahoma.
You guys got stucco in Oklahoma?
Most of it's not, but they're all some,
What kind
but
of siding
majority
you
of
got?
it isn't. Um,
Hardy board?
yeah, it just depends on the area. There's lots of hardy board, there's lots of
All right,
vinyl, lots of
fine,
brick.
fine. Let's go Hardy board. 1,600 square foot house. 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, single story. How much paint do you think you're gonna need on that?
For the exterior, I don't know. I don't think that should be more than 10 gallons.
10 gallons. Why don't we go 15? Go out on a limb. 15 gallons. Okay. Let's say you're using super paint, and that's going to be $30 a gallon. So that's $450, Shad. If you go high at 15 gallons, right?
Yeah,
All right. How long should a team of 2 take to paint that house? 10 days?
for six. I mean, I don't think it should even be 10 days.
All right. How many days?
To, I don't think it should take more than 4.
More than 4, right? I mean, it's 2 guys. I mean, it's friggin' walls. And if you're spraying it, right? So maybe 4 days, right? What are you paying the 2 guys?
Um, well, right now, I pay my painter 20, and his son, which is kind of a helper, 14.
Okay. How much is that per day? That's $34. Let's multiply that by 8. I got it. You relax. 272 per day. And you said 4 days, right?
Yeah,
Multiply that by 4. Your labor cost is like $1,100. So here's our 2 expenses. We have about $450 in material. We got $1,100 in labor. Are you in agreement with that?
yeah,
Okay. That's $1,550. So let me be very clear with you. The absolute minimum you should charge is $1,551. Okay? Make one more dollar than what you had to pay to have it done. Now, obviously, we need profit, so the easiest thing to do is just multiply that by 2. So you should charge anywhere between $2,500 and $3,500, right? You have to know the speed of your team. You know, if they take 10 days on it, you got a pretty terrible team. But you also have to know how long you bid it for to protect the integrity of your profit. So if you say on this job, you should be putting this in your notes. Say I'm bidding it for 4 days, multiply the hours, multiply the rate, say, okay, the labor cost on this job should be $1,100. And then I'm saying that we're going to use 15 gallons of paint. Guess what might happen, Shad? You might only use 11. Boom, you won that one, right?
yeah.
So do you feel better about bidding? I mean, this is very simple.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's pretty simple. Um, I'm also just, at this point, money is so tight, I don't want to lose
Okay.
money.
So
But
how's your credit?
it's like average.
Okay. Do you have
It's,
a Sherwin-Williams credit account?
yeah,
What's your credit limit?
5,000.
Okay. And how much do you owe them?
Right now, nothing.
Leverage the credit. It's a $5,000 loan. You get free paint for 60 days. I mean, you can't be worried about losing 5 grand. Dude, do you know that if you want to freaking start a smoothie shop, you got to pay $100K just to get your shop open? You've barely invested anything in your business. You have a couple like tools, maybe a sprayer. It's a cash flow positive machine. You get a lead and you convert the lead to, what did you say your average job size was?
Uh, like 3 to
$3,000,
4.
$4,000?
Yeah,
All right, hold on. I'm going to show you something. Another framework, okay? I want you to understand something, okay? Can you see this? You see those 3 circles?
yeah,
Okay. So I got S and D. See the S?
Yes.
See the D?
Yes.
All right. This is Shad in the middle. See that?
Yes.
All right. Do you know what your job is? See the arrows?
Yeah.
All right. So the arrows represent the facilitation between supply and demand. You're in the middle. Okay? So what you do is you get the painters. Okay? And then you buy the leads. That's the money at the top. So you have your painters. You buy the leads and you convert those leads into demand for the painters. So I'm going to go these painters. But you know what happens? You pay the painters less than what you sell the job for. And then you buy the paint. Let me see if I can draw this paint. That's a paint can. And then you get to keep the difference. And you do that over and 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 over again. This is just a game, Shad. It's a game. And you're in it. And you've already made it. You've already done the hard thing. You already started the business, bro. Take it serious and stop coming up with excuses. I care about you, dude. I really do, man. I think you're a heck of a guy. I think you're going to win. But I need you to understand something, my friend. You've got to take risk. You can't be worried about losing money. You have a $5,000 credit line with Sherwin-Williams. Do you know what that means? That means you can use free paint for 60 days and pay it back later. So you just have free paint. How do you lose money if you have free paint? Sometimes debt is okay in business because the ROI is so great. You have nothing to lose here. You should be trying to find out how to do jobs as fast as possible. And you should be taking on exteriors. What are you doing? You're not, because you're worried about pricing them wrong? Throw out a price, and if they don't take it, the market will tell you that your price is too high. It's very hard to lose money. Shad, we're gonna cap it for today, brother. I hope this was helpful.
Broke up. Okay.
Yeah, it's a, yeah.
Right. Yeah,
was
you
this
broke
helpful
up
for
there
you,
for a
man?
second. Yeah, it was helpful.
Good, good. Well, keep me updated, man. I hope it works out. You know, I think there's a few things maybe you can come back.